we have a very interesting and quite interactive session which is awaiting for us. Raluca, Rade, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Hello to Munich. This is where I understand you are dialing from, right?
Exactly.
And go
I
ahead.
would normally say I envy you for the weather, but this day it's an exception, I guess.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. We have a great conference happening, so I'm really happy that the weather is this way, because otherwise, you know, sunshine, you're tempted. Friday afternoon, perhaps you wrap it up a bit earlier and we watch the conference because, yeah, it's not very exciting to go outside. Okay, good. Raluca, Rade, what do you have in store for us today? Did I understand properly that there will be some kind of making games and fun out of our work process?
Yes, definitely. So it will probably cause fun. But definitely we are going to look into some ways to improve our practices, also having fun in the same time.
You know, it sounds promising, so I'm looking forward to that. Before I give you the floor, everybody in the audience, please, for the Q&A session, if you have any questions, if they pop up during Raluca's and Rade's presentation, do type them in the application so we can read them later in the end of the presentation in the last 15 minutes and, you know, perhaps discuss some topics which were not covered fully or that you would like addressed further. Raluca, Rade, the floor is all yours.
Super. Thank you so much. And I will start sharing my screen. You will see in a second. I guess you can already see my screen.
Yes, we can, and it works perfectly. Thank you.
Perfect. So we are going to present today. We're going to help you today to improve one of the most important meetings in Scrum, which is the daily stand-up meeting. If the meeting is sick, we need to take it, of course, to the doctor. Otherwise, it will affect us on a daily basis. So my name is Raluca Mitan. I'm a so-called Scrum doctor. I'm working for Payback in Germany, in Munich. And I'm one of your hosts today. I'm specialized in Scrumology. I'm caring about our beloved Agile patients and encouraging healthy Agile practices. Today, next to me is Rade. He's another Scrum doctor. So maybe Rade, you would like to tell us more about you.
Of course. Hello, everyone. My name is Rade, and I've been working as a coach since about 2010. First in Serbia, then I moved to Germany back in 2012. I worked for several companies that moved around a bit. So I was working first at Avira, that's antivirus company, then Zeiss, that's like optics, microscopy, semiconductors, medical equipment. Then after that, I moved on to my current company, which is called Payback. And you probably heard nothing about Payback because it's a loyalty scheme mostly focused on Germany, but it is part of the American Express group, so that you probably heard of. And what we do at Payback is the loyalty like card that you can use in the shop when you're buying something to collect some points. So why am I telling you these different companies? So when I moved around from country to country and from company to company, from city to city, I experienced quite different things in each of the companies because they have different focus of their work. But I also noticed that there are some patterns or some things that repeat no matter what the company is, what the area they are working in. And these patterns are something that we would like to discuss with you today. And that is the goal for our session today, is how to cure the daily by looking into the symptoms of what are you experiencing. So we identify some dysfunctional patterns as well as constructive patterns, and we want to look into both. And what are the signals or behaviors that repeat in a predictable manner so that you can realize when there is something negative or positive developing in your team. Of course, you can have both. So it's not exclusive that you only have dysfunctional or constructive patterns. there can be a mix, and both is fine. It's just like to recognize them and to know what to do about them. But before we do that, I would first like to ask Raluca to remind us a little bit like what is daily and what it is all about.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Rade. So let's clarify the background. So what is a daily? Because most of the problems actually are coming from the misunderstanding and the misuse of the daily per definition. So daily, it is a 50-minute synchronization meeting. Synchronization meeting. I would repeat this because of the importance of this. We're checking progress towards achieving a given goal of the sprint, and we're identifying also any sorts of obstacles. But very important, it is a synchronization, a connection meeting. So if the daily is sick, actually it means that 250 days per year we are sick, and 62 hours of pain this would mean. So if we have a bad daily, it's going to spread, definitely. So what we do in case we are sick, of course, we go to the doctor. The doctor is consulting the patient. And in our case, Dr. Scrum is going to actively listen to the daily. So it is incredible how many signals you can get only by listening to a 50 minutes meeting. Because the daily itself, it is like a radiography, not only of the team spirit, but also of the way of working and of the team culture. You can see incredible things in just 15 minutes meeting. So all these in the end, they influence team performance. So Rade, maybe you can share us more things that we can listen to.
Exactly. So when you are in the meeting, you can look out for some of these signals that can give you a hint like what is currently happening. You can look for gestures that people are making. Everyone knows this one, like when you're frowning and you have your arms crossed, like most people know that this means like don't invade my space or I'm not open to sharing. Tone of voice is also very important. Is it rather like happy or is it rather like flat and low and people don't have the motivation to say something out loud? You can also look for the energy levels. Like are people enthusiastic coming into the meeting or are they drained coming out of it? You can look for pauses, and pauses can be good and bad. So a good pause would be the one where people let people from the team reflect and think before they give the answer, not jumping in and cutting them off before they have a chance to express themselves. But there is also the flip side, which is like if you have a long pause and no one knows like who continues next, what do we do next, what happens next, and everyone's just quiet. These like short breaks can last a lifetime, or at least it feels like that. You can also look for me versus us, and this means how people are expressing themselves. Are they talking mostly, I'm doing this, I need this, I want to do this, or they are more talking about we are doing this, team is doing this, we have achieved this. Of course, when you're talking about a story or a task that you're working on, you have to use sometimes I and me. That is completely fine, but it's good to have a mixture of both so that it's not just about me and I. We can also observe the connections between the people. Like, do they have some private connection? Do they have a rapport outside of the work, outside of the meeting? Do they get in touch with each other spontaneously, sometimes to have a quick chat or just a coffee? You can also look for feelings, like how do people look like are they smiling or are they frowning? Are they just like, I don't know, worried about what they are hearing, or is it rather like something exciting and making them happy and enthusiastic about it? You can also look for monotony, because this can happen very quickly, especially for the teams who are working, maintaining certain projects. So if they're working lots on bugs, and yeah, this can take its toll on the team and its motivation. But now we want to take a minute and we want you to go to menti.com, and this is the ID 75580962. And what we would like you to do is to describe your daily with one word only. And we gave you some examples here. So we have Duracell daily, We have funeral daily, Caesar daily, Netflix daily, and singles daily. And while you are logging into Menti and thinking like what word would describe your daily, I can just tell you what we have here. These are some results that we got from our previous presentations. And Duracell daily is, as the name suggests, it's very energetic daily, like people are energized and they can continue like working after that very fresh and happy to do so. Funeral daily, everyone's looking to the floor and long faces, like, yeah, there is no much emotion other than solemn, like serious faces. Caesar daily, this is the one where there is one person that dominates daily and tells everyone what to do. So this is like a dictatorship style in the daily. Netflix daily, this is the one that never ends. So, you know, when you go to Netflix and you're watching the episode of a series, but then there is a next and a next. And this sometimes happens at the daily, like, oh, we have one more topic. Can we just have 2 more minutes? And let's extend it for a few more minutes. And this is what we call Netflix daily. And there is a singles daily, and that is where everyone's just thinking about their thing, like what did I do and what do I have to say next, and not paying attention to what others are saying and just focusing on their own thing and talking about their story and what they are doing. Okay, maybe Raluca, now you can share the screen with the Mentimeter results. Let's see what we have there.
Yes, we already have something. So.
Oh, nice one. Friends
Yeah,
daily, party daily, beginning of the workday, Netflix, short daily, singles, Caesar and Netflix. Oh, that's not a good combination. Singles daily, Express, hi-bye daily, Netflix daily. Yeah, lots of people have Netflix dailies.
Super, super. Thank you very much. This is really cool to get so many insights.
And it's interesting to see in different companies and in different teams, even within the same companies, how this differs. And yeah, we always like to look through these results and pick some for the slide before, just to have some creative names that you are thinking of. Thank you very much for that.
I will share again the presentation. And okay, going back where we are. You can see my screen, right? Okay.
Yes.
We go right now into the symptoms of the daily. So now that we understood a bit that it's very important to listen to the daily, let's have a closer look. And I also see that you guys are mastering the Mentimeter. So I would like you again to go into Mentimeter, and I propose to you a small quiz. And for that, of course, again, I have to share the screen, and we go into patterns. So what we are going to do right now, I think you can see my screen, and you also see the new code. So you have to go to menti.com again, but this time you have to enter a new code, which is 25107758. And if you go on this code, you're going to join our quiz. So we prepared for you a small quiz with 5 questions, and we are going to identify patterns. Patterns that you commonly you see in the daily. As for example, I saw in your one word daily a lot of Netflix. So this will appear. Let's see. So let's start. We are going to look into one pattern. So what you can see, for example, in one daily, and then it will follow a question, 3 questions that you have to choose from. So let's take pattern number 1. So just imagine you have a daily, and this is the conversation within your daily. So first, developer, I started yesterday with this ticket and I got an error. I can show you what it says. Have you checked the branch? What happens if you restart the system and assign the new keys? Let me share my screen. So yeah, this is just a small idea what happens in a daily. Does it happen probably in your daily? But let's see right now, if you connect it to that code, what pattern have you identified in this conversation? Is it the team is creative? Is it that they try to solve a problem in just 15 minutes? Is it that the team discovers something sensational? Yeah, let's see. I see popping up. Yeah. Quite cool. I think you're all experts. Super, super. So we are trying, thank you very much for identifying the right pattern. Indeed, they are trying to solve a problem in just 15 minutes. So this is the pattern that you can see. It happens very often in the daily. And let's analyze it, go a bit on identifying the root cause. So here is definitely the people do not understand the daily. I call it that the Scrum is sick, because they don't understand that daily is not for solving problem. Daily is for connection. As I repeat it, it's a synchronization meeting. So people should connect with each other, not solve. And it doesn't matter, you know, what you're discussing, it will not be solved in 15 minutes. But it may be also, if you're analyzing, if you're a Scrum Master and you go deeper, it may be that you notice that the team members are not talking outside the daily. So this is also a hidden root cause that could be. This means that people are not really chatting with each other, so you need to do something about it. And one thing that you could do is to park issues at the end. So this is one important thing. Let's go to the next pattern. So get ready, Rade.
Okay, pattern number 2. Let's have a look what is hiding here. So this is the conversation. Yesterday I had lots of meetings, and today I will look into the next topic. Then another developer from the same team. I worked yesterday on a bug, and today I will move to the next one. And the third one says, I'm stuck today in the workshop and will be available only tomorrow for the team. So now you have to choose between the 3 possible answers. The team is super busy. The team is working on separate topics, no connection between them. Or people share generic information in the daily that does not support team members connecting. So now we are waiting for your answers to see if you can get this right. We are here a little bit more split than in the previous. Okay. In the previous one, we had about 20 answers, so this is probably the maximum that we will get. Okay, so now let's review what is the real answer. And the answer is generic information. And team members, if we look into the root cause, team members do not understand the goal of the daily again. So it's a sync meeting. Like you are supposed to know what are others doing, where they are currently standing, not just like, yeah, I'm working. And this is not the point of the daily. People avoid being transparent because they believe this is a status meeting, or maybe they are not feeling safe to share transparently what they are working on. Or people do not really care about the meeting and just share something like, okay, I need to give something, so I will just tell them I'm busy with the bug. Okay. That was it for the generic information. Let's go to the next one.
Okay, so get ready for pattern number 3. We have these updates. So yesterday I did this, and today I will focus on that. Yesterday I finished something, and today I start the new one. But at the end of the sprint, the team uncovered various obstacles that did not allow them to achieve the sprint goal. So what's gonna be the pattern? Is it the team could use a new developer? The team does not share obstacles in the daily? Or they need more people to take care of the obstacles? Okay, let's wait a few seconds to populate. Okay, people know so much. I'm sure this is one pattern you really came across, because people kind of forget the third question of the daily, right? Thank you so much for using the Mentimeter, and that's correct. It's the Superman syndrome. You know, we don't have any obstacles. Everything is perfect. But even if you go by the board, you need to go through the obstacles. So what is the root cause? It may be that people forget to mention the obstacles. This is why we need to repeat them. Or it could be that team members do not feel safe to share these kind of things. Maybe there are some other people's failures, or some mistakes, or some obstacles. There is a certain fear. And this is a good signal for the Scrum Master to understand to go, where does it come from? Is it a fixed mindset? Is it something that we are afraid of? Is it someone who's there controlling us? So it's very interesting. And if you uncover this kind of problem, this will bring a lot of value. Let's see, next pattern.
Okay, the pattern number 4. Yesterday, I did this together with Daniel and it worked. Still need his support here. He's not in the meeting today. I will contact him later. And the other developer says, I finished this user story and for the next one, I need Daniel's help and I will get in touch with him. Okay, let's see what are the possibilities here. Daniel is doing a great job supporting his team members. Daniel is a great name and we should all have a Daniel on the team. Daniel is not attending the daily. We don't know why. This one's a little bit trickier. I like that someone said Daniel is a great name. That must be Daniel in the audience.
Right doesn't mean all the time wrong, right?
Okay, well, let's have a look. What is it? So yeah, the invisible man. The root cause for this one is people don't show up to the daily because it's taking maybe a place at a bad time. Let's say that someone needs to take your kids into the kindergarten at that time and then just cannot make it into the daily. They could also have parallel meetings, which is not good. People do not wish to join daily for different reasons. This is also a possibility. Like they have some personal conflict or something happens that they don't want to attend the daily. They had some bad experience, or people do not understand the goal of the daily. Like, why do I need to join this meeting? It's anyway like 15 minutes. I can write them in the chat what I'm doing. So yeah, why should I spend 15 minutes talking to people? So this is the number 4, the invisible man.
Let's go to pattern number 5. This is the last one in Mentimeter. So you have an image here and you have a few columns to do development, testing, and done. And there's something particular about this image, right? This is something that you also notice sometimes, maybe at the end of the sprint. Let's see what kind of pattern does this image tell you. So is it the tester is lazy, or the tester is on holiday? Or do we have a bottleneck in testing? And someone please help. Okie-dokie, I see. Yes, of course, it might be also that the tester is on holiday.
So can also be lazy. I was a tester once.
Super, thank you so much. So indeed, we do have here the bottleneck. Why is it that? It could be that the people do not feel responsible and not even bring it into discussions. How many times have you seen this, like so many testing tickets crowding in and nobody saying anything, just the tester, yeah, I've got a lot of work. So yeah, this means also that the team members, they work individually and not as a team. So is it just me? I'm doing my job. I don't care about the other people. This is very dangerous for a team. So you can definitely see it in this daily. And then, as a Scrum Master, as a coach, or as a team member, we need these things to improve. It's nice also to check definition of next. What can I do next? I'm finished. Is it I'm helping someone else, or is it I start with the new stuff? It's a good working agreement. Super. Thank you very much. Thank you for using Menti. It's good to have also your contribution here. I will stop sharing and I will go back to our presentation where we have left. So symptoms of the daily. So we saw lots of dysfunctions from the daily. Maybe Rade, you can also explain to us some of the positive behaviors of the daily.
Yeah, we don't want to be just negative. So we want to also point out that there are some positive things that you can look for in your team. And first one of them is offering or asking for help. This is very positive signal. So if someone says, hey, I need help, and someone says, hey, let's talk later and I can help you maybe with that. Or they are just offering like, hey, I'm finished with my stuff. If you need help, I'm available before I start with the next user story. This is signals the courage within the team to offer and to accept help. So there is no risk in doing this. Another one is when someone points to the sprint goal, like, hey, I know that this discussion is important, but are we forgetting the big picture, like looking into the small details? Let's focus again on the sprint goal and what is really important to finish within the sprint. This is a very mature way of doing it. And it's also important to do it with care. So not just say like, stop that discussion, this is more important. So this is a little bit abrupt and might rub the people the wrong way. But it is a very good sign of a mature team. The next one is if someone improves something or themselves, you can also praise that. It's quite okay, not just to criticize people, but recognize their achievements and praise them for it. And it's a good measure to praise 5 times, criticize 1 time. That somehow gives it a good balance so that people don't feel like you just hate them. The last one is openness. And you can see here a little monster that's sharing their camera. And this is a very good signal that people are feeling comfortable sharing their private space, especially today when we are working home office. And then you can share what is happening around you. Maybe you can show them a little bit where you're sitting. And this is a very good signal if everyone's sharing their screen and is feeling comfortable with the rest of the team, like to show what is happening around them and to invite them into their homes.
So not everybody is, then they cannot work anymore in their pajama, right?
Exactly. And maybe Raluca, you can explain why do we have these signals in this handy format here?
Yes, definitely. So as you notice also from the Mentimeter and also the positive dysfunctions, there are a couple of cards here. They represent these like bad behaviors, also positive behaviors. And we thought about it, would be nice to have them draw nice on a couple of cards. And we created them and we built a game. This is game-based learning. This means that it's not only that you have fun, but you also learn something. And the goal of this is to learn how to practice daily and learn what are the dysfunctions and learn how to make it better. It is everything for free. So we built it and we want to offer it to the world. You can find it on Agile Cricket, our blog, where you can get the PDF, as well as this QR code for the app. I can share with you. So for example, you have it like this. You have the cards and then you can pick one and you can show it to the other colleagues. And how you play it, it's very easy because and very flexible. You use the cards to frame people. So whenever something is happening in the daily, if someone, improved or he's talking generic information, then you simply show the card and you frame that person, and then it's a game, it's fun, we learn from these things. So you can use it also for remote teams, like using the app. It's very easy, or you can use it in the normal format while being with the teams on site.
And on top of that, we wanted also to share with you that what we already discovered about the game. So we visited already some conferences before. I don't know if you heard, there was this thing called Corona that interrupted everything. So before that happened, we also visited some conferences in person, and we had printed out the cards and gave them away in physical form. But when that happened, we also went digital and published them as PDF and also as an application, so that it's easier to share with people without having a direct interaction. So this is the feedback that we received so far. People tried it out and then write to us on the blog or using our contact email address. And they told us it breaks the monotony, from time to time you are playing this game and it has nice colors and there are different things that you focus that you normally would not. So it breaks the monotony of the everyday meeting that is happening and has the same structure all the time. People also told us it served as a hidden training. and to understand again or to remind themselves of what is the purpose of the daily. And I don't know if every one of you experienced this back in the 80s when I was a kid. There was, at least on Serbian television, there was this educational program, and I swear there was a rule, like it has to be boring to be educational. And I really hope that this way it's a little bit educational, but it's also fun. As you can see, one of the things that we received as feedback is it is fun. It increases listening. So people pay attention, like, okay, now I need to identify the pattern and I need to pick the card. So it makes them listen to what others are saying, but also what they are saying, so that they are not making some mistake and that they are doing the good thing, so that they receive the praise from their teammates. Other than feedback, we also had some ideas like what would be the next step with this game, and the evolution of it would be like a little bit gamification. So you could collect points, like positive ones for the positive cards, negative ones for the criticism, and you can do something like track progress and analyze what are the most common problems that you experience in your daily, and maybe to see if someone, like individuals or the team as a whole, are progressing and improving over time. And of course, you can always adapt the play rules. So it can be introduced by Scrum Master. They can show the cards and introduce it to the team first, and then spread it around, and that everyone can use the cards. So it's very flexible, like you can use it however you like. And other than that, we were also thinking, like, cards are good. It's nice that we created this game, but we also wanted to give you some advice, like what are the other strategies or tricks that you can use to improve your daily.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Rade. This is the last part. Before we leave, we to give you some more tips how to improve your daily. So one important thing would be use the fourth question, which is, how do you feel? It's an incredible question. If you use it every day, it creates a great bond. It creates people care more about each other. They share personal things because in the day, like at work, we don't learn many things about each other. But if we ask this question, people tell us about things that happen in their life, that they have talents, they have incredible things happen, contests they won. In the same time, you can find out about sad things, that someone lost someone, or maybe someone is getting a divorce. And under these conditions, we have to, do the daily and deliver and do so many things. But when people find out, then there is a hidden embracing arm around that team member. And then people get very, very connected with each other. So definitely use it well. I use it with lots of teams, so it's really cool. And other ideas would be build a backlog of small ideas. I don't know if anyone, since Corona, I have not seen a 50 minutes daily anymore, because my daily is transformed into daily coffee, daily chit chat, daily socializing. So it's like 50 minutes to 30 minutes, and we use it to play together, maybe do some scribble, maybe do some truth or lies, or maybe check out our crib. So we also did this with our teams, and the only thing you have to clean up a bit before, so all good. You can also have, yes, we can also have some discussion topics like bucket list, what is on your bucket list, or if you move to Mars, what would you like to take here, or maybe ghost stories. So I have some incredible ghost stories from India, or would you like to retire? Maybe some people, I discovered that there are people that don't want to retire. So it's interesting. You get to know more about, we get to know about each other. And this, of course, increases collaboration. There's another game we would like to share with you. It's this active listening game. You start your updates with the last word of the person before you. So it's fun. You should do it only once, because only once it's fun. Afterwards, it's maybe not so fun. But just try to imagine to do this game. It increases a lot the attention of the people. And the last thing that we would like to share with you is the learning pill, because the daily gives you one very important thing: repetition. So every day you teach them something. And for example, you can do small lightning talks at the beginning of the daily, 2 minutes, you can explain the cards that we showed you. One card, 2 minutes, and then you practice that. So it's really interesting how much you can also gain from this one. And yeah, at the end, we would like to just tell you, just try it, experiment it. Maybe it doesn't work, maybe it works great. So yeah, we would like to thank you for attending our conference, our presentation, and also for contributing to the Mentimeter. And if you have any question, you can write us. You can find the game there on Agile Cricket and connect with us. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Raluca and Rade. We actually do have some questions already. So if fine with you, I wouldn't wait for the people to write to you on your email. Could you please kindly unshare your screen so we can get to see the two of you, like eye contact in whichever way it's possible. So we have, I will kindly ask you to spend a few more minutes with us here. We have two questions, both very interesting. One comes from Jelena Stevanović, and she wants to know, do you have some recommendations on how to be motivated during the remote daily meetings?
This is the
and you know what? It's been mentioned, like this issue has been mentioned several times, not to mention more than 10. So it is an issue that is burning for a lot of our participants here.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that very well, because I myself find myself distracted. Like, there is email, there is chat, everything's happening. Back in the office, it was easy just to walk somewhere else, and then everything stops, and you can focus on that thing that you're doing. And maybe you show the board on the big screen, and then you can focus on the daily. Nowadays, it's quite tricky to do that. I sometimes try to close everything but what I'm doing right now. So I close the email, I close any other chat application, only connect to the daily and do that. And I try also, sometimes it's not necessary at home, but I stand while I'm doing it so that I feel a little bit of urgency. And I try to also motivate people from the team to do it so that they feel like, okay, we want to finish it. And it's important that we focus on what we are doing right now. Raluca, maybe you have also some good advice.
So from my side, I would, I'm thinking about that Scrum Doctor and what would Scrum Doctor do in this case. And the first question would be, why? Why do you feel, why are we not motivated? Maybe there's something hidden. So here it's very important to identify the root cause again. Maybe there's not a good collaboration there. Maybe there's something missing. Maybe, we are not really connected with each other. Maybe the project is not connecting us there. So you have to identify the root cause there. And then there are plenty of things, I'm sure, that once you know what demotivates people could help improve. Definitely, getting these kind of small activities in the daily and getting people closer together might uncover the elephant and increase the motivation.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thanks, guys. Another question that we have is from Marinela Vicher-Adrović. And she's proposing an interesting topic for the two of you. Perhaps it's not a question, but you can give us your input. Another interesting topic would be, can we cure the retrospective with the game?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be quite a challenge. And there is lots of material on retrospective. The reason why we focused on the daily, there is a little material on the daily, and it happens every day. Retrospective has lots of literature, and lots of people talked about it, but it's definitely a good thing that we could identify. I mean, like you have in the daily, some patterns, they definitely appear also in the other meetings. And we were already thinking to make these set a little bit more universal, so that it's not just focused on the daily. Corona a little bit stopped us in the tracks of trying to share this project with others, but it's definitely something that was on our mind, like how to make it more universal, to make it more about Scrum in general and not just the daily. but it's a good idea.
Good. Marinella, thank you so much. This has been super creative. I hope you actually went to some of the virtual booths and used your creativity to win some prizes. A board game, at least, if not a dinner. So thank you for that, Marinella. Thank you, Jelena. Thank you to everyone who have been active. Thank you to everyone who joined on thementi.com. This was a really, really interactive and amusing exercise. And while we are at amusing and entertaining, Raluca, is it true, somebody sort of whispered, somebody who's got hamsters in their home and is sharing the screen with us, is it true that you can sing a song of Lepa Brena? And could we perhaps humor you for, a small excerpt?
I remember it was like my favorite one was Luda za tobom, tararara.
Radepa, could you perhaps help? Come on.
I don't know the song, but I was quite surprised when Raluca started singing in Serbian. When I first met her, I was like, what is happening right now? She's from Romania.
That is amazing. Raluca, but how did you come to Luda za tobom and Lepa Brena? This is like really, really interesting.
Yeah, so it's my sister, she studied Serbian. And of course, studying Serbian means that you also study the culture and everything. And we were listening to Lepa Brena at home. And it's really nice. Why not? I really like it. And yeah, when I met Rade coming from Serbia, that was the first thing that came into my mind.
This is great. Well, Raluca, if you come for the next conference to Belgrade, like physically, I think there is a pretty strong chance that you actually run into Lepa Brena in the pedestrian area or in her neighborhood. Well, unless she's in Miami at that time. But okay, I mean, can we blame them or her for hanging out in Miami? Last but not least, before I let you off the hook, anything that we need to know perhaps about Payback and specifically about the location of the Munich office relating to other interesting events in Munich?
Yeah, if you're thinking about Germany and Bavaria specifically, and especially Munich, you're usually thinking Oktoberfest, right?
Yeah.
Payback office is next to Theresienwiese, which is the place where Oktoberfest happens from September to October. And usually after you finish work at Payback office, you go directly there and continue partying with the colleagues. So that's a really interesting coincidence, and I really like it. Unfortunately, this year they canceled or they said they cannot organize officially Oktoberfest, but there are still people, there are booths with drinks and people still get together and no one can stop this.
Well, that is great. Sorry,
and I can add to that having Oktoberfest next to us, you could cure the retrospective with a drink.
Indeed, this is a very nice insight. Thank you so much. Raluca, Rade, this was such a great session for going towards the end of our conference, and going towards the end of the week. It's been really refreshing, and thank you for adding this spice of interactiveness to that. With that, thank you very much for being here with us today, for sharing all of the insights, for sharing with us the materials which are readily available and free to use, and for inspiring us for curing our different stuff.